All right, guys. Morning. There's some sort of interesting talk about food security, food supply in the system. I'll talk about that first. Just a little training update here. So, yesterday, and this is pretty typical of what I'm doing currently. So I rode 20,000 meters. It's like an hour and 20 minutes of continuous rowing, stroke rate 20, pace 158.8. That's pretty solid work, pretty good conditioning. Um, I ate basically my one meal I ate yesterday. Typically, I'm doing a lot of one meal a day right now to help get leaner. Um, and this is what I had. I mean, there's a bunch of fish, a bunch of steak. You can see, and I had a little bit. Maybe at dinner time, I had a small couple bites of steak because I cooked for the family. But that's the food. I after the 20,000 meters of rowing, I then was doing squats. Um, 405 for 15, high box squats, so not full squats, but high box squats. First time I'm putting, 405 on my back in a while, just been focusing on other things. And so, quite honestly, 15, I usually do 20, so strength was maybe a little bit down because I've lost the weight. Then I did a bunch of pull ups and push ups, took this picture here, and, getting leaner, looks like I've got more muscular definition. And of course, the idiots like Durian Rider, oh, you're on steroids, you're up to your dose, and the clown. I've offered to take tests anytime. Any people that accuse me of taking steroids or TRT or any of that crap, I'm happy to take tests anytime. Just pony up, pony up, pay for the test, organize it. There's a Quest lab down the street from me. There's a LabCorp down the street from me out here in Southern California. Very easy to do. So if you want to run your mouth about how I'm taking steroids or you're too much of a fucking pussy to put in the work, then pay up. Pay up and let's see what happens. But no one ever does. They want to run their mouth on the internet like a bunch of fucking pussies. Anyway, so I'm, like I said, thriving on a meat-based diet. Most people will thrive on a meat-based diet, but you got to put in the work. I'm eating a little bit leaner for those days. Like yesterday, that's about 3.5 pounds of meat. 4 or 5 days like that, and then on the fifth day, we're going to load up on fat. And it'll be the ribeyes and the higher fat day, and that works pretty well. Keeps you your metabolism topped off, and you hit the lean protein. Protein is what you need to build muscle. You don't need carbohydrates to build muscle. The evidence is stunningly clear on that. The top researchers in the world, researchers do research on protein, will tell you that on muscle building. Carbs are not required to build muscle. They can provide a performance benefit. They can help with glycogen restoration, but they are absolutely not required to build muscle. You need it with protein, resistance training, caloric surplus, and adequate recovery, basically. Okay. This is a very, very important video. And guys, I want you to watch this. It's about 5 minutes, and I want you to watch this, and I'll come back and comment. It's about our food supply.
Hey everybody, this is Shad Sullivan coming to you from the headwaters of Bitter Creek, Archer County, North Texas. We have to talk. State officials will be assisting to help identify potential alternative markets if a producer is unable to move animals, and if necessary, advise and assist on depopulation and disposal methods. Ladies and gentlemen, we are plowing under vegetable crops from coast to coast. We are euthanizing millions of chickens. We are aborting sows and burying feeder pigs. We are dumping milk by the hundreds of thousands of gallons, and now they are preparing us to depopulate the fat cattle ready to harvest, because of a bottleneck created by the effects of COVID. This thing hasn't been created by COVID, but the effects of COVID and the logistics therein. We are in trouble. Our food supply is in trouble, and I am appealing to producers and consumers across the nation to start calling. Yesterday, the first shipment of imported beef from the country of Namibia hit the shores of the United States of America. And yet this morning they are telling us to prepare to euthanize harvest-ready cattle. Am I the only one that sees a problem in this? It is time we get the American people back to work. It is time we get money flowing. It is time we get food on the shelves. Because if you're not concerned about this food supply problem, you better be. We have a huge supply and demand of food across this nation. We can feed the world ourselves, and yet we're destroying our harvests. At the same time, we are importing beef from other countries, beef that is less regulated than our beef, less safe, not as high quality of product, and yet it's happening. At the same time, they are preparing for us to euthanize our harvests. Does that make sense to America? For the last 10 years, we have been pressed to be sustainable. I've said all along, sustainability is a fraud. And right now, we're being forced to destroy our harvests. That doesn't sound like sustainability to me. But it is part of the overall goal to vertically integrate your food system. You see, they cannot have control of the people unless they have control of the food, the water, the land, production. It is time we get back to work. It is time the American people force the government to listen to us. We are of, by, and for the people. This is not Nancy Pelosi's country. This is not Donald Trump's country. This is your country, and you're going to go hungry. We must get regional and local packing houses up and going. Do we have to have those big packing plants? You bet we do, and they need to be running right now. We need help. You as a consumer are in trouble. My dad told me years ago the best thing that would happen to America is if everybody had to sit in the dark, cold, and hungry, and that would wake them up. Well, I think it's coming. We're in a dangerous position, ladies and gentlemen. We need to get inspectors into these small plants. We need to get better inspectors. We need to get going on this today, not tomorrow, today. You need to be calling your legislators. We need to be opening up the country. Your food supply is in danger. Ranchers are going broke every day. We're doing all we can to stay here. We are in crisis in America. This is a crisis. This is a national crisis. And everybody's just sitting back enjoying their time off, enjoying that $1,200, not knowing that overnight you're going to go hungry. It's coming. Ladies and gentlemen, we need your help. We need your help today. Everybody, all hands on deck. It's time. We need you to go to demandUSAbeef.com, sign the petition for country of origin labeling. People want to know where their food comes from. I don't want any beef out of Namibia. I don't want any beef out of Brazil. I want my own beef. I'm blessed to be able to eat my own beef. But a lot of you aren't. And you need the freedom to choose your product. Demand mandatory country of origin labeling. Demand that these people get back to work. Where have our patriots gone? Where are you? I ask you that today. This thing's going to be incredibly tough overnight. It's already tough. You think the shelves were empty 2 weeks ago. You just wait. We have a bottleneck in this processing facility and the logistics in this transportation system of our food supply. You think we're not in trouble? We are. I'm sorry. My tone is so bad. I'm so upset. But we have got to get this going today, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate your support. Producers, start reaching out to consumers. Forget these associations. Forget all of the corrupt bull crap that's been going on. We got to put a stop to it too. It's time. My apologies for my tone. I'm worried about my country. Try to make it a good day, you guys.
Okay, as you see, this is a rancher up in North Texas. He's obviously very upset, at the prospect of having potentially to kill his animals that will not go into the food system. It's an absolute tragedy, and it's a tragedy of our food system. Uh, we have a centralized food system that's controlled by four major packing industries: Tyson, Cargill, Marfrig, and JBS. It's about 90% of the meat supply, 85% of the meat supply. And this is something that needs to change. This is something that we as consumers need to demand. We need to decentralize the meat supply. We need to decentralize the food supply in general. We need to step away from these global corporations and their centralized systems. We need laws passed. We need the Cool Law passed, which is a country of origin labeling law, which was in effect several years ago. It was taken out by the previous administration. We need to have that back on the books. We need to know where our meat's coming from. We do not need to be importing meat from Namibia while we're killing animals here in the United States. It's ridiculous. We need to pass the Prime Act that Tom Massey is proposed, so we can get direct, so those farmers can butcher those cows, slaughter those cows, and sell you the meat. And this is what needs to happen. We need to take this opportunity for those guys that are still set up that can do it to patronize those ranchers. We have a huge list at MeatRx.com. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of ranchers that will sell you direct to consumer meats. And we need to support this beyond this COVID crisis. The packing plants will reopen. They'll be back to business as usual for Tyson Food and Cargill and all those guys. Once the stuff is over, they're going to continue to do that until they can start selling you fake meat, until that marketplace where they've ramped up enough where they can sell you the garbage, the bullshit, the plant-based crap, the synthetic meat that's coming, the lab-grown meat. But we need to take this opportunity now to get out of that system and say, I'm going to support the ranchers. If I believe in eating meat from a cow, which I certainly do, and you guys hopefully will do the same thing. Take this opportunity to change things. We do not, if enough of us stand up and demand it, it will happen. Okay? Stop sitting on your hands. Stop being passive. The time to act is now. Okay? This is something that we as people have the right to do. We can vote with our feet. We can vote with our checkbooks. We can tell, these other companies to pound sand. We're not interested anymore. We want our food supply secure. And we want our food producers treated well, taken care of, and we should help take care of those guys. Okay? It's bullshit that ranchers are out there busting their ass 365 days a year, working every day through freezing rain, snow, taking care of sick animals in the middle of the night, busting their ass, getting a shitty return on their prices because the packers control the entire monopoly on the food system. And the NCPA is complicit in this. And, the organizations that are supposed to be representing the food system and the beef industry and the ranchers are falling down and not doing their job. And it's up to us to help fix it, guys. If you're a rancher, you need to think about saying, F the NCBA. They're not going to help fix this problem. If your organizations aren't helping you, come to the consumers, go direct to consumer. We're gonna stand up and help. I certainly am. Go to MeatRx.com. Help the movement, guys. It's more than just about health. It's about the whole entire food supply. It's about food sovereignty, and it's extremely important. Okay, this is what not only your livelihoods, but your health depends on this. Your quality of life depends on this, and you can accept the depression, the illness, the disability, the insulin resistance, the metabolic dysfunction, the general malaise that comes from a crappy food system. It's time American people around the world have said, we've had enough of this stuff. Get off the grain, start making real food. All right, guys, have a good day. Take care.